So I'm Sandeep Muarja, as Shivam has already mentioned. I'm currently pursuing my MBA. I'm in my second year and will be graduating in this April or May month. Cryptocurrency is the hottest topic in town. You would have heard of Bitcoin, right? So Bitcoin has been going up like there is no stopping Bitcoin right now. It has touched somewhere around $50,000. A lot of the people would be thinking that if you had invested in Bitcoin in those times, you would have been a millionaire or a billionaire by now. It's a very interesting, exciting concept. So let's go through this so that we can understand what this is, how it works, and why this is going up so fast right now. Okay, so cryptocurrency is a digital currency. It's not very different to normal currencies which you can feel, but since this is digital, it will be in your account or your wallet, and you can use this to buy some goods or services. It is just like normal currencies. Okay, then the point is that they use an online ledger which is not controlled by any one person. It is controlled by a server, and this server is shared across people, across geographies. So it's not very easy to hack these kind of servers, right? These are highly protective as well in that case, if you look at it. Blockchain, it's the master ledger actually. So what's a ledger? So essentially, when you do a transaction, the transaction gets stored in a ledger. Okay, so who got the money and who paid the money. So once they validate the currencies, only then the transaction goes through. So when we're talking about crypto mining, it's the process in which the transaction between users are verified actually. So essentially, there are two people, one who is sending Bitcoin to another. Okay, so that transaction will get recorded on a server, and there will be people who would be authenticating and verifying these transactions. Okay, and after the verification, that transaction will get added to the blockchain public ledger. In mining, you will receive Bitcoins if you are able to complete blocks of verified transactions. Now, earlier it was quite easy to get those Bitcoins because there were very few people who were involved in mining. But now, after the popularity of Bitcoin has grown, a lot of people have taken to mining. And that's why I think mining is not really a very lucrative opportunity for now if you are thinking of looking into mining.
If, say, today governments decide that they will embrace cryptocurrency, right? Now they have to have a robust technology enabled infrastructure. But I am very worried about one thing, that is the inclusivity. So, can you please highlight and throw some light on this?
So essentially, inclusivity is always a problem with any new technology that we adopt. It normally takes time to have the perfect inclusion as well. So I'm just talking in a hypothetical world that if Indian government is up for adopting bitcoins, slowly and steadily the Indian rupee will be phased out. And during that time, in parallel, you can use both bitcoins as well as Indian rupees. If there is awareness spread across people, the benefits associated with these currencies, the protection that they get, the privacy that they would get, also the costs would be very lesser compared to the normal currency costs. And the infrastructure is built, so essentially a lot of exchanges where you can buy or sell bitcoins and is easily tradable. Uh, then i'm then i'm of the opinion that bitcoin can have a decent future with India as well. So we have definitely seen that cryptocurrency has the power to fundamentally alter the global finance, but only if they are able to solve their issues. Cryptocurrency isn't really coming up with some breakthrough suggestions or developments which people would come up and take notice of it. So essentially, right now, I don't think right now the governments aren't really keen on legalizing cryptocurrencies across the globe. There have been a few countries, say, I was reading somewhere, Nordic countries are looking into adopting Bitcoin as well, slowly and steadily, but there isn't a lot of movement elsewhere. Okay. And then a key thing here was that there is a new market of stable coins which is coming up as well. So an example is Facebook's Libra. Okay. So what is stable coins? So stable coins is essentially that one e-commerce company or a tech company comes up with their coin which you can buy in exchange for your rupees or your dollars, and then from those coins you can try to access their services. So essentially, if you want to buy anything on Facebook's platform, you can use Libra for making those payments. Okay. So essentially, Bitcoin is not really pegged to any benchmark. Bitcoin wants to be independent, but these stable coins are pegged to, say, dollar or even a rupee, whatever is possible. So one, say, one Libra would be equivalent to $1. Okay. So I have taken this data from CoinMarketCap. This is a website which keeps track of all the cryptocurrencies. So you would see that majority value is there in Bitcoin, who has a market capitalization of $890 billion. Okay, and apart from that, other cryptocurrencies haven't really gained that level of popularity, but they're also coming up slowly and steadily. So the whole market cap, if you look into it, has crossed $1 trillion mark. And you would see that in the third number there is Cardano, whose change in 24 hours was 31%. So this is not a good thing if you are really looking to get into the currency area, right? So if a currency gets appreciated by 31% or gets depreciated by 31%, then you can't really store that currency for value, right? Because you never know, overnight you had 100 rupees and you are now only left with 70 rupees when you wake up next morning. So right now these are pretty undeveloped. So these are basically speculative right now. So you would see that whenever Elon Musk says something about Bitcoins, or say Tesla goes into investing into Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoins goes way higher. Okay. So these news based movements shouldn't be the ideal thing if these currencies want to take center stage. So if you want to buy cryptocurrencies, then there are normally platforms, exchanges are there where you can buy them, just like the NSE or BSE of India. And these have also got some wallets. So in these wallets, you can keep your cryptocurrencies. Okay. Then every cryptocurrency holder has a private key that authenticates their identity and only then allows them to exchange these units. So if you lose these private keys, essentially you have lost your holding of Bitcoins as well.
Sir, we have Utkarsh who will be coming up with something interesting. Till then, be
Mhm.
tuned.
हो गया कैसे कोई हम पे नहीं, हम सफर में तो है, हम सफर है नहीं, दूर जाता रहा, पास आता रहा, खाम खा बेवजह ख्वाब बुनता रहा, खाम खा बेवजह ख्वाब बुनता रहा.
If you guys want to reach out to me anytime again, you guys can connect to me on LinkedIn or any other social media if you want. And I'm always open for a discussion, and we can have a healthy conversation anytime you guys wish to.